Hey, 30-06 John here, and today what we're going to be talking about and reloading is using your 9mm pistol in the woods and also a proper load for wild game encounters. When camping or going in the hiking in the outdoors, it's nice to always have a pistol for self-protection. A lot of people recommend using something like this Ruger Super Blackhawk and 44 Magnum. I do carry a 44 Magnum when I'm out camping here in Alaska, but a lot of people don't have a pistol like that, and they usually have a 9mm pistol. So the question is, how do we optimize the ammunition in a 9mm pistol for outdoor woods use? Well, the question is, why do you need to carry a pistol in the woods or while you're camping or hiking? Well, there's a lot of things that one needs protection from besides humans. That could include dogs, could be wild dogs, could actually be domestic dogs that are, when they're running free, sometimes they go feral. Could be wild animals like deer or other domestic animals, maybe a cow or a goat. There's plenty of animals out there that could that you need protection from. This pistol that we're going to be using today is a Springfield Armory XD Mod 2. Has a 4-inch barrel. It's probably pretty typical of what most people use. Most people use ammunition like this in their 9mm. This is a 9mm Luger 124 grain full metal jacket going 1110 feet per second. A full metal jacket bullet actually usually penetrates pretty good, but the jackets are actually pretty thin, and even though you might think that it'll penetrate as good as a as a hard cast lead, it doesn't. It's soft lead underneath the jacket. The jacket's usually not that thick. So when it hits something hard like bone or whatever, it probably will deform and not penetrate very well. And also it has a bad habit of deflecting. Not shooting in a straight line, but deflecting off course. So if you have to use this, use it. Just, it's not the best choice. One option is if you could find ammunition that meets the FBI penetration test. The Hornady law enforcement and military line, their critical duty ammunition does that. If you're not familiar with that, the FBI created these tests a few years back to judge ammunition. And what's good about this is that there's actually tests through barriers. Test number 1 is bare gelatin. Test number 2 is through heavy clothing. Test number 3 is through steel, 2 pieces of 20 gauge hot rolled steel. And after that, penetrating that, it has to cut through cloth covered gelatin. Test number 4 is wallboard. 2 pieces of 1/2 inch standard gypsum wallboard set 3.5 inches the wall apart to simulate a wall. Then they have ordnance gelatin behind the wallboard. Test number 5 is 3/4 inch of plywood. And test number 6, the toughest test, is shooting through automobile glass at a 45-degree angle. This is a very tough test, and also it tracks straight line penetration. So ammunition that meets this spec actually penetrates through all this and meets a minimum penetration in the gelatin after this penetration, usually around 12 to 18 inches. The Hornady critical duty line does meet that. 9mm plus P135 grain flex lock bullet. You cannot buy this bullet for reloading. You have to buy the ammunition. But any ammunition that actually meets the FBI penetration criteria, to me, would be okay for a woods carry load. The Winchester PDX-1 line meets the FBI penetration criteria. I'm sure there's others out there. And just so there's clarification, the Hornady XTP bullets do not meet this. Now another option, and it's a little bit easier for us reloaders to create, Buffalo Bore has this line of ammunition called the Outdoorsman. In the 9mm, they have a 9mm plus P load. It is a 147 grain hard cast flat nose going 1100 feet per second. This load is probably as good as you're going to get in a 9mm. Now the Buffalo Bore load sort of has a little bit of a claim to fame in that Phil Shoemaker, an Alaskan guide for 33 years, uses a 9mm Outdoorsman and a Smith & Wesson 3954 to stop an attacking grizzly. And you scroll down here, you can read the story. Phil Shoemaker's a pretty well-known bear guide in Alaska. Sort of surprising that he even had a 9mm pistol on him. But he did use this 9mm pistol to protect a client from a brown bear. Some people said that brown bear doesn't look that big. It doesn't really matter. A brown bear is, any brown bear is a tough animal. These bullets penetrated pretty good through the bear. So I'm not saying that a 9mm is a bear load, but a 147 grain hard cast going 1100 feet per second is pretty good for most animals. One good thing about Buffalo Bore, he gives actual velocities out of actual guns for his ammunition. You can see here most guns are going about 1090. That's a 147 grain hard cast lead going 1090. That's a pretty stout load out of a 4-inch barrel. So I went through all my reloading manuals and magazine articles, and with the powder that I have, the closest I could come is to use accurate number 7 using CCI small pistol primers, and I'm using these Lightning Ammo brand 147 grain hard cast bullets. It says precision hard cast bullets on the box. It says cowboy bullets. I really don't know how hard cast they are, but it's the closest I could come. Bullets look pretty good. Has a grease groove there, sort of a flat nose. The flat nose, it helps in straight line penetration because it'll dig into whatever's hard and trying to deflect it instead of sort of sliding off it like a round nose. This is what the Buffalo Bore uses, something similar to this. So that's what we're going to be using. For brass, I have this range pickup brass. I would sort through the brass and get all of the better looking brass. Some loading manuals list the load I'm using, 7 grains of accurate number 7 as a plus P load. Another reloading manual I looked at calls it a standard load. So let's load this up and see how they work out. No secret on reloading 9mm. The only thing unique that you have to do here is you want to make sure you flare it pretty good, because there's a slight flare there because we're seeding lead bullets and you don't want to be shaving the lead off the bullet there. I'm weighing out each charge of powder since this is a new load. Pour it in through the top of the funnel here. 7 grains of accurate number 7. Goes to the next stage. Grab the bullet. Seat it, make sure it doesn't shave it. Yeah, you don't want it to shave any lead off the sides. This looks good. Now let's crimp it using a Lee factory crimp die. And also sort of a bulge buster. Primer is flush, always important. Or below, slightly below flush. Bullet itself looks good. We're checking the overall length. We're loading to a 1.15. This is just a couple thousandths over, 2 thousandths, but that's good enough. Let's continue on and finish the rest of them up. Here are the recovered brass from our range session. Since this is a sort of a hot load and that, we want to take a look at the primer strikes, make sure there's nothing really abnormal about them. Like that one right there, you can see where it dragged a little bit. The firing pin. It says it's sort of a hot load there. But these all look okay. I don't see anything too bad. Let's check our target. Alright, here's our target from the range. Let's review it real fast. Distance was 7 yards. The load was XD Mod 2 with a 4-inch barrel, 9mm, 147 grain hard cast lead, 7 grains of accurate number 7, CCI small pistol primers. Cartridge overall length is 1.150. Our average velocity of 4 shots was 1,038 feet per second. This doesn't hit the 1,080, 1,090, but this is the first time I used this load. Didn't want to go hot immediately, so you could bump this up a couple tenths more, maybe 7.1, 7.2, maybe even 7.3 grains of accurate number 7. You would get closer to that 1,100 feet per second. Accuracy was actually pretty good. This is 4 shots right there. Like I said, this is 7 yards standing offhand. This load here is probably pretty good. I mean, if you had to go into the woods hiking, camping with a 9mm pistol, and you can't find a buffalo bore or the FBI approved 9mm ammunition, this load here would be a good alternative. What's good about this is that you could get these bullets fairly common. Accurate number 7, since it is made in the USA, is fairly common to come by anymore. And you'd have a pretty good load there. Anyhow, I hope you all enjoyed this video. That's all I have. Everyone, thanks for watching. Please hit the subscribe and the like buttons. Everyone, take care, stay safe, and have a nice day.